It is almost
Man,
2018. So
Hey, you know,
what you gonna do? Hey, you know how there's always those church things like like what's the church thing for 2018 where they always say something that rhyme? You know what I'm talking about?
we're going to heaven in 2007.
Yeah. What's
Don't be
2000?
late,
Jesus
2008.
is the reason. Don't be late 2000.
Yeah, be found
I'll be
clean.
fine 2009.
Be found clean in 2018.
There you go.
That's it. That's the church saying of
Jesus
the
is
year.
the reason for the season in 2022.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not quite
All
that.
right, let's go ahead and start the show.
That's a real bad one, Jay.
Yeah, that
Really bad.
didn't
I couldn't
rhyme.
think of
There was no
anything. I'm
rhyme
sorry.
scheme.
I'm sorry.
And welcome into the Barbershop 918. You up in here with your man, Big Drew,
Big Drew.
J Rock.
Boom.
I hope that's a gun, Raw Dog. And the one and only
What?
Raw Dog.
Alright, alright.
All right, we got a jam-packed show for you today. We're going to get into some conversations about this year. The year is almost over, so we're going to do a recap of our favorite moments of the year. Also, we're going to get into NFL talk. The NFL was just completely just exciting. Like, it was fantastic this weekend. So we got to talk about that and then talk about what's going to go on in the future with the NFL. And then the Thunder continue with their woes. It's a little bit better, but we're going to have to talk about the fact that the Thunder are just, is it Russ? Is it Billy? It's kind of like I feel like a broken record because every week we're having this conversation. But we got Thunder talk and
Mhm.
other things that are going on around the NBA. So check it out. This is going to be the last show of the year. So make sure you get ready. We about to get started with the word on the street.
Word on the street. It's the sweet one.
Woo!
Woo.
Ah,
Mm,
that boy good. Good and
man,
terrible.
I want to throw pennies at myself.
man, yeah.
Oh my God. Did he
Just
just say that? Oh God.
yeah. I was wow. I was
That's how
actually
good that
I
was.
pulled out props. I was about to start throwing $1 bills at you, but once you said that panty comment, I'm like, yeah, I'm good, bruh.
This brother. This
He,
brother.
I bet you do want to do
Y'all not,
y'all
y'all not gonna give me props on that one. That was a good one, man. That
I
was
What?
said you was good
It
and
wasn't.
terrible.
It was.
see, love, man.
All
Whatever,
right, let's
man.
kick it off, J Rock, with that music news.
All right, music news. On the Billboard Top 200 this week, we got coming in at number 6, Double or Nothing, Big Sean and Metro Boomin. This is Metro Boomin's second mixtape that has been in the top 10 in the last 3 months. He had Without Warning, which is a great mixtape with 21 Savage and Offset from the Migos. And then number 5, we got Quality Control, Control the Streets Volume 1. It's a various of artists on there. Migos, 21 Savage, to name a few. There's a song on there where they're dissing Joe Button. So this is a very good mixtape to listen to. These are two mixtapes. I'm saying mixtapes that are in the top 200. 10 years ago, we never seen that. But those are the albums that are on the top 200. As far as with albums, last week I told y'all Eminem had an album called Revival. It is trash. I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of Eminem. I've been down with him since '99 when he first came out with How My Name Is. But this album is trash. He
Trash.
has Beyonce on there. The song is trash. Sam Smith, Ed Sheeran, songs trash.
Okay, wait. You gotta be more specific than that. What is it that's wrong with it?
It's just I don't.
Is it too
I don't know.
pop?
It's too pop, and it's just like I just can't get into the songs like I could with his first 3 albums. It's just like this album. He's like, okay, I'm targeting for a Christmas date. He's doing. It's predicted to do 300,000 the first week when the numbers are released on Friday. So it's like he knew the plan, but like I said, it's not the formula of what he had when he was with Dr. Dre. Like I said last week, he just had the perfect formula of getting a pop singer on it or somebody very popular because they're gonna play the song on the radio, whether it's K Jams, 106.9, 92.1, or any genre radio station in the nation. So he knew
What
what he was doing.
did the production? It wasn't Drake.
Uh, it was no Dre on it. It was just a different album. I wasn't feeling it, man.
Well,
Like I said,
Eminem's been on this emo thing for the last couple of albums. This whole emotional thing that as far as his uh, content and stuff like that. Is he just continuing that? And maybe this might be the jumping the shark moment of the emo Eminem that we know? Is that what that is?
I mean, it's just. I think the last album that I really was feeling was the one that came out in '09. I think that was Detox or something. It was like the one that came out after he got over. It was the song that had the song with Rihanna on it. That was the last Eminem album that I was rocking
But
with.
Detox, that was a Dre album that never came out. But I know what you're talking about.
I forgot the name of the album. Rehab or something.
But I
So
know what you're talking about.
is it? So does this sound like it's an album that maybe it came from the record label because it was due. It was just one of those got to put something out. So let's
Yeah,
get
it's been
some
a couple of
let's
years.
get some
We need
Christmas
something.
sales and you'll be good. You can go rest and do what you need to do for a little while. You know.
Yeah, because at this point, Eminem is so Eminem that he doesn't really need to do really good music to sell.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have to do good music to win awards. If he is in the category and it's on MTV or VH1 or any channels that's not BET,
He's
he's
gonna
winning
win.
Yeah.
every single time, regardless of what he put out is trash or not. Now, you want to call that racist? Not racist, but come on. You know, the mainstream folks want to see one of them win. Just like we like to see one of ours win on the mainstream shows that, hardly ever happens. Not as
He
much
ain't
as
lying.
yeah. It's gonna be one. Is this gonna be one of them shows? Because
Yeah.
you know.
We tend to get real black sometimes. So what else we got?
Hey, what was number one, Jay? What was number one?
Number one.
Yeah.
It
On
wasn't. It
the
wasn't a
charts.
brother.
Oh, I mean,
Who was number one? Was it Taylor Swift again?
was it
No.
Taylor-
Luke Bryan. What makes you country?
oh wow.
Yeah.
Man, you look on the hip hop charts, man. You just looking at just the Hot 100.
Top 200.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I'm not
for
sure.
hey man, for a mixtape to get in the top 200, and that is actually an accomplishment for hip hop. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about top 200, just hip hop and R&B, kind of, like around those charts, but to top 100 overall, hey,
That's not bad.
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
not
in the only album release of this week, Gucci Man is dropping another album.
This is his third one this year, man.
I tell you, Gucci Man got married and he keeps dropping material. The guy
That's
loves.
not, hey, man. Yo, that's not smart to flood the market like that. Okay. Anybody want to ask Master P how smart that is?
well,
Remember that? Remember how Master P had an album out coming out like every 2 weeks?
yeah, but it worked for him though. He got really rich. It just didn't work for
For like
anybody else
for
around
like
him.
for like a year and a half, Drew. It worked,
Yeah.
and then people got tired of it.
Well, I mean, and when there's a lack of talent, that's what you do. You flood the market while you hot and you got a name, and before people realize you trash. So yeah,
Are you saying the same thing about Cash Money? Because they did the same thing.
it's a scheme. You got to go with it. Get it right.
Everybody had their run. Everybody had their run.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
All right.
What else we got? Is that it for
That's
music news?
That's the music news for this week. Raw Dizzle for Shizzle. Bless the game with the box office champs. Ah,
Well, I tell you what, the box office champs from last week. I don't think there is no surprise who's at number one. We know what's at number one, but I'm gonna count them down anyway. Number 5, we still got Justice League. Thor is finally out of the top 5, but Justice League took his place at number 5 and made a little over 4 million last weekend. Number 4, Wonder, still in the top 5, made 5 million. 3 is Coco, which was number 1 last week, but was number 3 this week with 9 million. Number 2 is a new one. It's an animated movie, Ferdinand, with the wrestler who plays what's his name? The wrestler
John Cena. You can't see me.
Yeah, he plays. He does the voice of Ferdinand. Number 2, 13 million. Now you heard me say 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 9 million, 13 million. Star Wars: The Last Jedi made 220 million.
Lord.
That's domestically. That's just the U.S. Yeah.
That's not even foreign.
Now add all that together, and you hit the number that you said last week. Because I was like, how they gonna hit 400 million? It's 450 million worldwide.
Yeah. See what I'm talking? So not only did it even surpassed what I thought it was gonna make. So just domestically, it made 220 million. And and it's probably gonna have tracks. In other words, this one's gonna last a while. It's
Yeah.
gonna be number one for a few weeks. It's gonna continue to make a lot of money. Um, Disney, you got to give props to Disney how they do these Star Wars movies. They always release it right around Christmas. Um, Star Wars has ultimate cachet in the name itself. People are gonna go just because Star Wars is in the title, whether it's a good movie or a bad movie. I've heard mixed reviews about the movie, but I'm gonna check it out Christmas Eve and see what it's all about. So, Star Wars: The Last Jedi killed it this past weekend. Now, coming out this weekend, you got a few kind of different kind of movies. One that looks really interesting is one called Father Figures. I don't know if you guys seen the commercials.
That looks
for
like it's gonna be funny. Yeah.
Looks real funny, and my man Cat Williams is in it. Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen the previews of it.
It looks really, really funny. It's one of them really, really funny R-rated movies with Ed Helms and Owen Wilson, and basically they have
Ben Rames,
Yeah. Ben Rames is in it.
Ben Rames is in it.
Terry Bradshaw.
And what they're doing, they're looking for their father because their mom was a little loose back in the day.
Promiscuous. Yeah.
Very promiscuous. So that they're on this quest to find who their father is. And Cat Williams, I guess, is he's like the investigator helping them out. But this looks like it's really, really funny. So if you want to see an R-rated comedy, this might be it. If you're looking for something a little bit more PG-13, that's Pitch Perfect 3. Everybody knows about the first two Pitch Perfects, right? With Anna Kendrick, Rebel Wilson, the singing, the women that were singing. Don't look like you don't know, Drew.
No. I went to go see
Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I went to go see part 2.
Did you?
Yeah, we're a Pitch Perfect family, apparently. Yeah. My wife loves them.
Pitch Perfect 3 is going to do very well because, the first two did very well. And then there's this one kind of interesting movie that I wouldn't want to go see in the theaters, but somebody might. It's a movie called Downsizing.
I actually want to see that.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it looks interesting.
What interests you about this particular one?
I think that the main thing that interests me is it's not so much like
it's a quirky movie.
Yeah, and I think that's it. It draws my interest. I think I would get bored unless the plot line just turns some, like away from comedy but yeah, overall, I mean, it has my interest, but I think that's also looking at wanting to see how it's filmed and just wanting to see
the effects and stuff.
That's what I want to see with that, like more than anything. And because other than that, you got to imagine it's only one or two jokes that are going to continuously get old.
Exactly.
So it seems like an exhausting watch, but it still has my interest.
It seems like a skit that they're just kind of stretching out, basically.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, basically it's about these scientists that have discovered how to shrink humans to 5 inches tall. It proposed a 200-year global transition from big to small, so there's more room on the Earth. It's kind of odd. And basically they shrink these people, and there's a whole thing with it and how it affects mankind. And it's a quirky little movie. If it's something you're interested in, this might be it. So those are my picks for the week. Father Figures, Pitch Perfect 3, and Downsizing, man. And that is your movie report for the week, y'all. What about TV?
Hold up, quick. Did you guys see the meme where it said the Cleveland Browns have won one football game since the last Star Wars movie that came out in 2015?
That's sad, sir.
That's petty. That's a headline I would write, though.
That's
headline.
That's why they love LeBron so much in Cleveland, man. That's all they got, man. LeBron James. That's all we got. CMB. That's all we got. That's all they got, man. It's LeBron.
Cleveland.
Now, who's the coach in Cleveland? Hugh Williams?
Tyrone Lue from Mexico City.
No, talking about the Cleveland Browns, sir.
That boy from Raytown, Missouri, ain't from Mexico City.
Hugh Jackson.
So he's getting fired, right?
The owner said, I mean, they made it seem, because they brought in Kansas City's old GM, it was John Dorsey, and he says, at this point that it's a chance they keep him there, but no, that's new GM talk for, I'm firing him and hiring my own people.
He will always get put in these situations, man.
But you know what? He's a good replacement for Marvin Lewis. We should probably say this for NFL talk.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. All right,
TV
so
news.
TV news. Netflix just dumped off a lot of new stuff, and next week, on the 22nd, they're going to dump off this new Will Smith uh, deal.
Right.
How you feel about this, Raw Dog? To me, it looked like a research, like Suicide Squad meets Alien Nations. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure that's you know what, you should work for the movie business because that's exactly what it is. It's Suicide Squad with Alien Nation, but it is good to see Will back, in science fiction because Will does well in sci-fi. He has, he's got that right kind of swag for science fiction because he throws his comedy in there. And I think this is the first one he's ever done specifically for Netflix. And this is the first Netflix movie that actually has a soundtrack. Remember when movies had soundtracks? And they were, you know what I mean? Back in the 90s?
Above the Rim, Boomerang,
Yeah,
basketball, all that stuff.
this one has a soundtrack, man. And now, how good it's going to be, I don't know. But the fact that it's available on Netflix and it's Will Smith as a star of it, it's going to get a lot of people watching it, especially because. Go ahead.
I think it's interesting because to me, I know Adam Sandler signed a pretty big deal with Netflix, but he's the first real, I would say, just consistent A-list star to drop a project straight to Netflix. A star of that caliber tells you we're going somewhere. Like the future of what we know the internet to be, things are about to change. There's about to be some changes as to how much we end up going to the actual physical movie theater for certain genres. Like I believe Marvel, as time evolves, is going to find a way to filtrate things into their upcoming network that they're going to be doing.
Well, they're already doing it. I mean, Marvel's got it down pat, man. DC is behind the game right now. Marvel has your Luke Cages, your Defenders, your Punishers, your what's the young lady's name?
Jessica Jones.
So Marvel's already doing it, and a Daredevil. I mean, they got it down pat, man. And you're right, that is the direction that a lot of folks are going, and it saves them money putting these movies because it saves them money on distribution. Rather have it on Netflix than have to worry about paying the distribution fees for all these theaters. It's the movie business is probably going to go the way that the record business went once people were able to download songs and no longer bought albums or CDs anymore. That's what the movie business is doing. Except I think the movie companies are a little ahead of the game because they see it coming. So I gotta agree with you. Netflix is the future.
Yeah, they raised my bill up this month.
Me too, sir.
They got to pay Will Smith, man. I've been paying $10.99. I've been paying $8.99 for 4 years, man. What's up with that, man?
You know how much I pay for? I ain't gonna even say it. It's more than $10.99, sir.
Well, you get the DVDs.
Yeah, I get
Skybox.
I pay like $25 a month, man.
I watched the beginning of Zoolander, and that was like a running joke amongst the old models that they was like, "Hey, I got your mail and your Netflix too." And all right, let's get back on track with television news. Outside of that going on, what else we got going on with TV?
Did anybody catch the Empire season fall finale?
I did. I caught the last part of it.
Yeah, they brought out. It was a good episode. I don't know if you've been watching. You know that the Bois, Felicia Rashad, and
I didn't even see that part. What happened with that? What happened with that?
Tay Diggs, like they pretty much have been. They're still mad about how things went with Cookie last year. So they got Andre taking these psycho pills, and that caused him to think that he was dating a girl who was a cop in Las Vegas, but he was just tripping out. Hakeem lost his baby. Lucius, he had an accident, but that was because of Andre and Exhibit's character. But they pretty much what's my guy's name?
Hakeem lost his baby. What do you mean he lost his baby? The baby
he lost it in the custody battle.
Oh, okay.
Unica and what's the other brother's name? Jamal. He was dating one of the Dubois sons, but come to find out it was a cousin. He beat him up. But they let all this information out, and so Felicia Rashad ended up going to jail and all this stuff. So towards the end of the episode, Lucius got knocked out because Demi Moore's character came back in the picture. So now when it goes into the spring, it's gonna be like on some misery stuff. Like she got him up in the mountains and everything. But Empire, this fall finale, it was the whole first part of the season. It was kind of a slow, drawn out, type deal. It didn't get like interested until the last 3 episodes. And I don't know. This may be like the end of Empire, in my opinion, because I think Taraji Henson, I think her contract is up, and she's probably not gonna re-sign with him. So if you didn't watch it, check it out on DVR or on demand. But
no, I think they got 2 more seasons in them. 2 more seasons, and that's it. I think Taraji gonna sign for 2 more seasons. 2 more seasons because this movie she got coming out called Proud Mary, it ain't gonna do well.
It's gonna be worse than Boo. It's gonna be worse than Boo.
It won't be that bad.
Boo.
Yeah, nothing's worse than Boo. Nothing's worse than Boo.
But I, as much as they are pumping up this Proud Mary, and as much as the commercials look awesome, I don't think it's gonna do very well. So she's probably gonna sign up after she sees what happens with this movie. She's gonna sign up for another couple of seasons, and then that'll be it.
All right.
It's been how many seasons so far? What, 4?
I've been 13, 14, 15, like 5 seasons. 5 seasons.
Yeah, 5 seasons. 2 more, and that'll be it.
All right, that's it for our television news. Now it's time for us to transition from the word on the street.
Word on the street. It's a sweet one.
That was a little pitchy, but it's time for us to go into NFL.
Thank you, Simon.
It's a little pitchy. All right,
You've been dismissed.
Time for us to talk about the NFL, and you know what? Your boy Diddy wants to buy the as he put it, the North Carolina Panthers.
Jack,
the Ciroc Panthers. The Ciroc Panthers. Oh, I can't stop moving my hands. Oh God.
So
you stupid.
Here's my thing on this. There's 2 people that I feel like have the money as far as the African American community is concerned. That's Oprah and Michael Jordan. Those are only 2 people who have the capital. Like, did he have enough money, and then can his empire potentially pull it off if he had the right group with him? But the amount of money you got to put in the escrow to cover just all these guaranteed contracts, that working capital just isn't there. So.
Hey, man, he ain't selling that much Ciroc to be able to do that. He is definitely he's gonna need Oprah and Michael and a few other people to be able to pull that off, and he could be a minority owner.
Yeah.
But I don't think he has that kind of capital.
Yeah, it's definitely a minority. He can be a minority owner. I think he can be a part of an ownership group, and they could put him at the forefront like Brooklyn did with Jay-Z.
Right.
But for the most part, that's just him. Now, I don't want to say altogether that there aren't any African Americans that they could. I honestly do think Oprah doesn't need anyone. She could finance this. I believe Michael Jordan could also finance this and be the majority owner. I think the 2 of them have enough to do it.
Oprah got a network. If she got a network, network.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think there's some because people who got money have tried it. Remember Bob Johnson tried it and he was like, okay, hold on. It's a little
Bobcats,
yeah, he's like, it's a little bit much. And
didn't he end up selling his
to Jordan. Yeah.
To Jordan.
So, and I think, like I said, Jordan is a person who his money is long enough to where I believe he could pull off having 2 franchises as well, and also could get a lot of investors to go in with them, and they know it's a guaranteed thing. So, I think it's possible that somebody, an African American, could own an NFL team. Now, the boys' club probably won't let them in. That's the thing I'm thinking of. It's like, it would have to be Oprah because Oprah is one of those people that no one can deny. Like, because so many different people. Let me just be real. Older white ladies love Oprah.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be too hard. Like if Oprah ran for president, hands down, she would win. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably can't stop the Oprah train.
Do no wrong.
But, and same thing with Michael Jordan. He's got the same appeal. People love him. So I think those are 2 figures that won't get shot down. Anyone else, unless they come in with a lot of money, I don't see the NFL owners letting them into the club.
Oprah has no interest in this whatsoever.
Yeah,
I honestly think Diddy was like, he may have been drunk, and somebody may have just threw it out there like, "Hey, man, the Panthers are for sale, man. You should buy them." Because he said he was going to hire Colin Kaepernick and everything. So I think it was just one of those emotional decisions. Like hey, if I get on the internet and say something, enough people will retweet it, and then it'll get some interest.
That's all it's been worth. Retweets.
Here's the thing. People who make those kind of moves don't announce them before they do them. They move in silence.
Yep.
So that tells me that Diddy's just running his mouth. I mean, you remember what happened when Dre was boasting about the $1 billion sale with Apple and Beats? He almost lost the deal because he ran his mouth.
No. Tyrese ran his mouth. If you look at Dre, he was like,
you can't tell everybody everything, man. Just, you can't tell everybody everything. That was one of those things that you ain't supposed to say nothing. Real people with power and money move in silence. They don't talk about what they're going to do. They talk about what they've already done. So Diddy just, to me, doesn't have any credibility because he's running his mouth and he ain't did nothing yet. He's just talking. And Diddy talks a lot. And I'm like, shut up, Diddy. Just shut up.
And then there was an inappropriate picture in the background too.
Was it?
Yeah, he wasn't doing us a favor there. So we talked about something last week. We talked about something last week on the barbershop, and then all of a sudden the media started reporting it. So I think sometimes they're paying attention to us. But there's been a lot of reports that Marvin Lewis is going to step down at the end of this year, and there's the ownership has no desire to continue their relationship with Marvin Lewis. And then there's been reports that people in Marvin Lewis's camp have said he recognizes it's time for him to step down and let the team go a different direction. So we don't need to talk about this. We already agree. It's true. They need to step down
before he get fired.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, brothers in the NFL as coaches have a shelf life unless you are the brother that coaches the Steelers, Mike Tomlin. Everybody else got a shelf life.
Yeah.
If you ain't winning, you gone. Mike Tomlin is probably the only black coach that I've seen have the same job for more than 2 years.
Him and Marvin Lewis.
Art Shell was with the Raiders for like 6 years.
Who?
Art Shell.
Oh man. Do you have to bring Art up? Really, Drew?
Hey man. Remember Jay growing up, that was a big deal, man. Like Art Shell with that, he looked like he had a fake starter jacket, like Raiders starter jacket.
And that bob he had, man, I was like, man, what's going on? He had a Steve Harvey before the Steve Harvey had it.
Yeah.
Art was a big one, wasn't he?
He was an offensive lineman, but like he was noted as pretty much the first black coach to get the job, and they wanted him to have the job. Like it wasn't, we're gonna put you, like even amongst assistant coaches and other ranks, like he was qualified. He was a qualified candidate in their eyes, and it didn't last well. All right, so what about our teams here? We just talked about Pittsburgh and that controversy. What about how does that affect the playoff picture and all those other, and everything else?
Well, I mean, Pittsburgh, New England. If you watch the game, it was probably, like me and Rado was saying, it was probably one of the best games of the year.
I watched
Pittsburgh pretty much controlled the whole game, and then Patriots came back, scored, and took a 3-point lead, and then Juju Smith, he caught a pass and went 69 yards. They thought he was going to go out of bounds, and so then the next play, Ben Roethlisberger threw that pass to Jesse James, and he caught it, fell down, but as they say, you got to complete the process.
Was it a catch? Was it a play? Was it a legit catch?
No. You know why I'm saying no.
Wait a minute. That was a legit catch, but the catch that Dez...
That was a catch. That's a catch.
Do you guys see why I said let's talk about our teams? This is how I knew I could get into Cowboy talk.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, you baited me into that, and I bit the bait, man. Dez caught the ball. We should have won a Super Bowl. We should have 6 rings right now. We're not going to talk about that. That's old news. You know what I'm saying? Jesse James didn't catch it.
What's the difference, Jay?
Jesse James didn't catch it. His knee was down, and he had grease on his hands and fumbled the ball. Okay. Referees got it right. NFL got it right. He didn't complete the process.
All right.
Then Big Ben threw an interception.
Dez caught the ball, though, right?
Yes, he did. He made a football play.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You're not biased at all, right, Jay?
Nope, because Romo should have had one ring. He should be in the booth right now with a ring on, shining up every time he talk about the plays when he be calling the play.
Yeah, because you're objective,
Yes,
obviously.
I am. Very objective.
All right, so that play with the
Come on,
play
Jay,
with
make me mad.
the play with Derek Carr, legit fumble. Everything's good on that game. How do you feel? You feel good about that?
No, the what's so funny about it is like 4 plays before that, the guy from the Cowboys had the chance to intercept the ball and he dropped it. And then the next play, they got a 55-yard pass interference penalty.
Wow,
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But like I said, the Cowboys, they need to win the lottery, man, because they still need the Lions to lose a game, and they need the Falcons, Saints, or the Panthers to lose their last 2 games while they win their last 2 games to make the playoffs.
Falcons ain't losing the last 2 games. I'll tell you that right now. Well, they might. They're going to lose to the Saints. But
They play the Saints and the Panthers in the last 2 games of the season.
They'll beat the Panthers, but the Falcons going to have problems with the Saints. They always do. They always do. But, yeah, see, Cowboys need a little help to get into the playoffs this year.
Yeah, a lot of help.
Lots of help.
That's a lot of help.
That's never a good situation, as you know, when
So-
you have to have help.
Well, they got help on the way with Zeke coming back, and apparently he spent the last 6 weeks in Cabo, running on the beach like Rocky and getting swole. So
Was Apollo there?
yeah, that's all. Yeah, I was so
Carl
waiting for it.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
You are the leader of the Cowboys. Leave those white women alone and get in that backfield and run for touchdowns.
I had a tiger, Zeke. I had a tiger.
Carl Weathers ain't advising nobody to leave white women alone. I don't think.
Action Jackson face. He probably still got that same haircut from Action Jackson right now, man.
Yeah.
Have you actually sat down and watched Action Jackson?
That's what
That's a terrible movie,
It
man.
is.
Hey, that was the first DVD I bought when I got a DVD player for Christmas. I went to Walmart and paid $3 for that DVD.
You watched it because you got it because Vanity was in it, didn't you?
Oh yeah. No lies. Yes.
And it was fine in that movie, boy. Even though she played a dope head, she was fine.
Yeah.
That was a fine dope
She
head.
was- oh God.
Right?
Oh, she's naked
So,
again.
That's
Oh, my God.
that's a top 5 for us. The top 5 most attractive drug addicts in movies. Like Halle Berry, Jungle Fever. You know.
We doing that one next show, baby.
Oh my God, we losing viewers. Oh gosh.
All right. So overall, we know what has to happen with the Cowboys in order for them to get in. Zeke's coming back, so the chances that you guys win out very good. Now with the Kansas City Chiefs, we did what I felt like we needed to do. If we are who we think who we say we are, if we're gonna own up to that potential, we had to show up, and we had to show up big against San Diego. And I feel like we showed up pretty well. I mean, we did pretty good. I believe Marcus Peters did. I have this weird relationship when I think about Andy Reid. Sometimes it's like, are you a genius or are you just lucky? Because the suspension of Marcus Peters seemed odd to me, but it all of a sudden they come out looking like they made the right decision. This young man was motivated, and
Hold on. Did you say the suspension of Marcus Peters? Is this the guy that lost it the last game?
yeah.
Marcus Peters. Why is that odd to you that he got suspended?
Because the NFL didn't suspend him. The Kansas City Chiefs, that was a self-imposed suspension. So in most cases, teams don't suspend a player for the whole game. If in a lot of cases, the teams that say, "Well, you're not starting, or you're sitting out, or different things."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they might take a little bit of money. The NFL took money from them, but the Kansas City Chiefs took it upon themselves to say, "We're setting you down against Oakland." And this is a big game that he always gets amped up for because he's a native of Oakland. And so he's always.
They were punishing him definitely.
Yeah, I felt like there was an extra punishment to it. And he came back and he showed them that, like, no matter what he does again, he can go out there and be, a baby Josh Norman and act a fool. You need to still let him play because the secondary is a lot better with him out there. My favorite takeaway from the game was Phillip Rivers getting in Darrelle Revis's face, letting him know, I'm going to keep throwing to you if they keep you in the game. And
Wow.
and that kind of goes to show how people feel about Darrelle Revis at this point. And he's only coming in on certain packages. But I
Teddy
feel
P is washed.
yes, Teddy P is washed. You need to take it off, take the helmet off, because he is not. But it's overall, I feel good about where the Chiefs are with this. I feel like how we finish off. I see us losing to Miami just because we do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we still have to win one of these two in order to guarantee that we're going to get that spot. It's an 80% chance, but it's still not locked up completely. That that we're just walking into the playoffs. And then on top of that, it's sort of like we're in, but do we have a chance to survive the first round?
Hey, do y'all think Jameis Winston is the real deal?
I think
it was just a bad season for them.
Yeah. I think a healthy Jameis Winston is the real deal, but I feel like his career might go somewhat like Randall Cunningham's, where injury might keep him under the radar for a little while or whatever, and he might have a resurgence with another team or with someone who's willing to open up the field for his style, but he may not be it for Tampa.
If he's not careful, he's going to be exactly where, what's his name? Was it RG?
RG3.
RG3? Where's RG3 at? He's going to go that route if he's not careful. He's a good mobile quarterback, but he just, for some reason, man, they just can't seem to get over that line, man. I don't get it. Like, I watched them play the Falcons last night, and they had a chance to take it into overtime, and still they just could not get that field.
Hey, that was on the kicker that time. You know what I'm saying? He got him down the field.
Jameis could have got him closer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jameis has had fourth quarter comebacks in the past. What happened? You know? You could have got him closer, man. I don't know.
The results of that game eliminated the Packers from the playoffs. So all of that coming back was for nothing.
Aaron Rodgers came back for one game and was like, I'm going back to the injured reserve.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. Why take the chance?
They lost the heck out that game, boy. Man, that was bad. That was bad, man. I hate because I like Aaron Rodgers. I hate to see him on the bench looking like that, looking pitiful.
Well, it was that because they won their game. It was that the Packers won their game.
No, they lost to the Panthers.
They lost to the Panthers. Because they were saying at the end of Sunday that they weren't, or at the end of the games on Sunday they were saying they weren't eliminated yet. So what eliminated them was last night's game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the fact that they lost too.
Yeah.
So Aaron Rodgers came back to play one game and lose, basically.
Yeah.
They should have just kept Huntley out there then.
Yeah, and I think that's what we'll see for the rest of the season. Bears. Yep. Did you want to mention the Bears?
Not at all, sir.
Not at all. All right. So moving on from.
Let's move on. Our season was over with at the beginning of the season, so. Yeah. We're in a rebuild season. We'll see what happens next year, man. Although it's weird to see what's his face? They used to be with the Bears, a quarterback that's in Miami now. It's weird to see Cutler doing well. That's just odd to me.
He didn't look good on Sunday against Buffalo. He beat New England, but then he stunk it up against Buffalo.
He beat New England. Isn't that weird? That just shows just how inconsistent Cutler is, man.
He didn't have he was smoking Newports that night, you know.
Yeah. All right, so it's time for our hood topic, and our hood topic is our top moments of the year. A lot has transpired in 2017. It's been an interesting year for all of us, personally and with sports. We've seen a lot of different things go on. So what are some of your favorite moments sports-wise of 2017? Let's start with sports, and then let's kind of go personal. Can you think of anything? I'm
going to go off the top of the head with Kaepernick winning the GQ. Kaepernick?
Yeah.
Kaepernick, yeah.
Winning the GQ Sportsman of the Year. What was it? What was the award he won? Whatever the award he won, I thought that was a great moment and vindication for a brother who really stood up and took a lot of shots for a lot of black folks, man. The sacrifice that he's actually giving up is immeasurable, man, and he was rewarded for that. So as far as sports is concerned, him winning an award, I thought it's just vindication that he can continue to be like a standard in our community, man, because he didn't have to do it. He didn't have to do it, but he did it anyway, you know. So That's one of the top moments as far as sports in 2017.
It might be too soon, but Durant getting dunked on last night, Larry Nance Jr. just putting it on him. That's one of my top moments, man. I can't help it. It was just,
Not even the Thunder beating the Golden State Warriors.
I think as a fan, I don't want to reduce myself down to being excited about a regular season game. But yes, unfortunately, yeah, that was exciting. I hate that it was.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
When Russell and KD went head to head, literally head on head.
You soft, dude. You soft. You soft.
That was a great moment. Now I cheered for that. That was the one night where the Thunder played like the Thunder that we know that they can be. Was that night?
Yeah. What about let's see, sports figures that retired? Who retired this year that we won't see anymore? It was a big deal also last night. Two jerseys for Kobe Bryant. That's a big moment in sports. I've never seen a player have two numbers retire. I mean, not many players play with two different numbers, but it's 4-5. 4-5's not retired because Denzel Valentine was wearing it. So, you would think if anybody would have got two numbers retired, it would have been the 40, even though he didn't stay in the 45. But just because he touched it, you would think, you would think that the 45.
He didn't do nothing with the 45.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't do anything with it, but you still would think, people's attitude toward Jordan that it would be retired.
Nobody will remember the 45 years.
Well, his 23 is retired in Miami and in Chicago. Mm. That's how much respect Pat Riley had for him that he retired as the number 23 in Miami.
No, he retired that for Harold Miner, for Baby Jordan. That was.
Chill out. He wore 32, man.
He did wear 32. That's right.
Hey man, I was a huge Kobe hater all his career, man. I couldn't stand Kobe. I couldn't stand Kobe first of all, he was arrogant. But he was arrogant and he was really good. You knew with 10 seconds left, if Kobe got the ball, you know what was getting ready to happen. Mm-hmm. And if it was against your team, you go, oh, see, here we go. Here we go. And every single time, he was magic, man. So as much as I can't stand Kobe, I got mad respect. He deserves all the accolades that he gets, man. And he deserves the retirement ceremony that he got a few nights ago. Totally deserve it. He's one of the greats, man.
Yeah. A lot of people were upset that Magic Johnson said that he was the greatest Laker. Now, we can talk about that on some other show because we're gonna get deep in the NBA conversation. But
so you're just gonna pretend like Shaq was never there, huh?
Shaq was only there what?
Yeah, Shaq. I wouldn't say that.
There.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. Though.
Shaq was responsible for them having championships.
Yeah, he was responsible for those first two championships. But think about it, Kobe won 3. That third one was Kobe, and then he won 2 without Shaq.
Yeah. So what's Magic then?
Well, Magic's
the one that's
okay. But at the end of the day, you kind of leaving out Kareem in this argument, who is the all-time leading scorer and won those rings with Magic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where does Kareem play in here?
I just think Magic was more of a leader of the team, man. Kareem did what Kareem did, but Magic is synonymous with the Lakers. That's why his name was Magic. It was Showtime, baby. Magic was a leader of that team.
So let's go back to the hood topic. That's my fault, y'all. I shouldn't have brought it up. So back to the hood topic, and I'm just gonna ask you this question, Raldo. What was your favorite moment of 2017 with political things? I'm just.
You asked for the answer. I was like Alabama.
Yeah.
Hey, we forgot to mention Russ winning MVP, man. That was a big moment, man.
It was a big moment.
Russ, the triple doubles was something else.
We knew there wasn't any way that they were going to do well in the playoffs, so that was all we had was Russ winning the MVP. Mm-hmm. So that was
awesome MVP speech. It topped the 2014 speech from number 35, in my opinion.
I don't think so. KD had a better speech. Had a better speech. As much as I don't want to say it, yeah, you can wave it off if you want to. That don't mean that it's true. KD had a better speech. Russ' speech was okay, but KD had a better speech. His speech was quoted. The real MVP. Come on now. Yeah. Name something that Russ said in his speech that's quoted.
Yeah, I
want mama.
Yeah, I don't even remember his speech.
See what I'm saying? My
So,
case closed.
all right. So that comeback in the Super Bowl was big for me.
28-3, yeah.
Yeah, that was a big moment in sports.
That hurt. That
Yeah,
really, really hurt. Because I can't stand New England.
yeah. But on a personal level, let's kind of transition to, you know, I would have to say to lead this off, one of the biggest things is just what you're looking at, like the visual part of the barbershop now when they kind of got pushed to the forefront just because of my move to the Portland area. And that still hits me every day that I live here. Like when I go outside and I can see the mountains around me and it's raining usually, you know, but everything from me being able to go to restaurants and have vegan options and not be looked at funny for it, but it's just a different atmosphere. But also, there not being a lot of black people around.
There you
So,
go.
yeah,
Oh.
and that's one of the hardest things to say because when you think Oklahoma, you don't think black,
No.
but at all. But I lived in that one pocket of blackness, so.
West side, baby.
Yeah, so living on Greenwood around all of that history, and then to come here where the culture is stripped, there is no African American culture hardly.
Unless you play for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, dude, I promise you this: if you look down there, you'd be hard pressed. There's maybe four, maybe five brothers on the team. So
Wow.
when you pay close attention to it, so.
Who plays close attention to the Trailblazers? Nobody really.
Nobody.
We'll pay close attention to them when they end up eliminating us from the playoffs or something like that.
Hey, chill out, man.
You even let that come out your mouth, man.
Because the way we've been playing, why do we keep letting NBA? I'm not gonna let NBA talk get into this best of 2017. I'll say that in a minute, all right. But I would say the move here was a big thing. Us doing still doing the show, and before I moved, just the reaction that the Tulsa community had in saying goodbye and embracing it made me realize I had an impact that I didn't realize I had actually had in that community. So that was my biggest from 2017.
I'm gonna say my oldest son graduating from college with a degree.
Yes.
That's huge for me and my wife, man. You raise kids and you try to put good stuff in them, and you hope that they use the stuff you put in them, the good stuff, as a foundation. But I mean, once they get past 18, it's really on them. And the fact that he still chose to get his degree and to follow kind of what we wanted him to do, you can't get no more prouder than that, So that was huge. This year was to see my oldest graduate and literally become a young man. 23 years old, young black man with a college degree, the most dangerous thing in the United States. Come on now.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, that's huge.
Now,
Jay, I'm pretty sure I know what Jay's is.
hold on, but didn't your daughter graduate high school too?
She graduated high school the same year.
I'm trying to keep you out of trouble.
Yeah, so my daughter graduated high school and my son graduated college. Now my daughter's in college. So, things are good, man. Things are good in the Wilson household as far as, my kids, going after what it is that they need to.
Was it 2017 that your youngest became officially your youngest too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just helping you out here. That's
Don't want to leave nobody out.
Yeah.
We adopted our youngest in May of 2017. So a lot of changes in the Wilson household, man. A lot of changes. But overall pretty good changes. We've been blessed. Thank God that every day that we're able to wake up and be a family and be able to do the things that we do. God's been good, man. He's been real good.
All right, J Rock.
Man, on a personal level, my favorite moment was switching jobs, man. I was a teacher, and then I left the teaching field. Now I'm just playing. No,
I was gonna give you a hard time when you were done with your little soliloquy there.
No more dirty tears. No.
Now, my favorite moment, as you all know, is getting married this year back in July, man. It was just a blessing, man. Me and my wife, we pretty much put our wedding together, man, and everybody has said that's one of the best weddings that they ever seen. And, we had a lot of practice from going to see other people's weddings and seeing what they did wrong and what we wanted to do. and it was just a great weekend. You know, it was like everybody gets on to me about my dirty tears, but it was just built up, and it's just the way I am. You know, I'm an emotional guy, and it was just being able to see like all of the people that I love and people who respect me and love me being there for me, seeing me marry my best friend. It was just a great time, man. The wedding was beautiful. The reception was even better. It was just, you know, we still talk about it to this day, man. It was just a overall great day, man. Me and my wife, we just thankful for everybody that came out and supported us, and you know, went on a honeymoon to St. Petersburg, Florida. It was just, I had a great year, man. 2017 was a great year. OJ got out of jail too, man.
Oh yeah, the juice is loose. That's right.
The juice is loose, man.
Yeah.
Where are the white women at? Go get them, OJ.
Yeah. So 2017 had a lot of ups and downs. We saw a lot of good things. What was the Jay-Z album that came out this year for you?
444, yeah.
Yeah. So
his answer to Lemonade.
Yeah.
And actually, apparently, they're doing a joint album together.
Yeah. They're going to
take all of our money.
Getting all the money. Watch them do it. Yeah, the tour is going to be something stupid, like $300 a ticket. And
we're gonna pay it.
Yeah.
Because we love Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're the next to the Obamas, they're our national couple.
Yeah. And then all it took is for Jay to come forward and say he did all the stuff he did that everybody already knew he did.
We knew he did it, but you know, just to say, yeah, I did it, and I'm gonna put it on record so it can forever, you know, be said.
And so many men tried that in 2017 after that album dropped, and it didn't work that way for them. They're in divorce court right now because they thought, you know what?
Get your duffel bag.
Let me grow up.
And get out of my house, boy.
Yeah. Let me grow up and tell the truth. And no.
If Jay-Z did it, it could work for me.
No. You're not Jay. You don't got Jay money.
You ain't got Jay money, sir.
No.
But overall,
false advertisement, man.
2017 has been a good year. I mean, just like what Drew was saying, specifically for the Barbershop 918. You know, we have this visual concept that we started, and you know, we've always talked about since we began this that we always want to be innovative, that we always want, we don't ever want to get stale. We don't ever want to bore the people that take the time to watch our show or listen to our show. So this is a cool new format. We had to kind of do this because our boy Drew went on to finer pastures. And as much as we had gotten on to Jay about him leaving,
yeah, I'm still here.
He snuck under us and punched us in the gut and just bounced. It was like, really, Drew? You gonna do that? But hey, man, you know, we support our brother. You know, he's still our boy, no matter whether he's here in Tulsa or miles and miles away in Portland. And as you can see, we still doing a show. And as long as we stay innovative, man, and y'all keep listening, we're going to continue to do the show. That's what we do here at the Barbershop 918 this year, next year, and beyond.
All right. So we've got a brief amount of time, not a whole lot of time, but we got to get down with some brief Thunder talk. Fellas, we got about 5 minutes at the most. And really, I don't feel like it even deserves 5 minutes of NBA talk, or at least Thunder talk here, just because Thunder, they don't suck as much. Is that a good way of putting it?
But they suck. Nevertheless, they suck.
Whose fault is it?
I think it's a combination of
Billy Donovan.
The way that Russell plays. Billy, is it Billy Donovan?
Yeah, Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
He's not. He's just as bad as our previous coach as far as coaching them. And Carmelo needs to come off the bench.
Who do we start in his place? Do we bring Patrick Patterson into the starting lineup? Do we run, like, what kind of system do we run? Is Patrick Patterson, you say?
Yep.
Yeah, because he was the starter, you know, before they made the trade. When they signed him in free agent, he was going to be the start at the four position. Yeah, power forward position.
We need to get that. The second unit is just a move away from being excellent. You know, even with Raymond Felton leading them, that second unit can be really, really good.
Well, they're our best unit, and I felt that way all year. And I heard Chauncey Billups say this at halftime of the Indiana one of those games last week, where he was like, "I'd rather watch Raymond Felton in the second unit because they run offense."
Right.
And so that's what it always makes me think. Maybe it's not Bill. It's Billy Donovan's lack of coaching the first unit. He's scared to coach the stars, but
I
that
agree.
second unit is running a good offense. Like
And they get good shots. They get good shots. Do they
now.
make them on time? Yeah, but they get good shots.
The only thing the second unit is missing is a strong defensive presence. But I feel like Grant kind of if they consistently say, okay, Grant, you're in as a guaranteed second unit, or better yet, to me, I feel like the Andre experiment. Like I know I love what Andre brings to the table. You can't look at on paper, like you can't. It's the in between stats, but offensively, the last 3 games, you fellas have had to notice. I've never seen a grown man pass up so many wide. He passed up a wide open layup, and then pretty much was forced to take it when Russ shot it right, gave it right back to him when we struggled in that triple overtime against the 76ers.
He's a liability.
So he's an offensive liability, so to the point where it's, you know what, we need to use him like they back in the day when teams used Ruben Patterson. You know, like when it's like, you know what, we just gonna put you in to be, because remember Ruben thought he was the Kobe stopper.
Yeah.
Oh, for the Spurs, was he with the Spurs? Was
Blazers and
Blazers.
It was a couple of other teams he played for, but
Kobe stopper. I remember that.
You know, we need to use him that way where we say, okay, we need tough defensive presence. We're gonna bring you in off the bench sooner, because from that 2 spot, Abrines does give up a lot on defense. Like, he does not defend well. He keeps getting caught out on the perimeter. Like, he gives up more 3-point plays than anybody. But I still like what he brings to the table offensively.
He can shoot.
Yeah, he can shoot. And so for me, looking at the Thunder squad right now, and I feel like Adams being out and Johnson coming in and playing the way he plays when he gets the chance, he's an excellent player. He has championship pedigree. I feel decent about the pieces. It's about the placement of the pieces. I feel like we got everything we need. It's just, will we go ahead and pull the trigger after the All-Star break and say, you know what, Melo, you off the bench? Can you picture that second unit with Felton, Melo, Grant, you know what I'm saying, Abrines? Come on, man.
It's gonna take Billy to be the coach, man, to do that, and not be scared to offend Melo, because Melo is a powerful dude. But like, hey, do you want to win, or do you want to continue what you did in New York and Denver? What do you want to do? Because they gotta look at it like this: this dude may not stay after this season, so they might as well use him the way they want to use him.
Yeah.
Period.
Did you see the way his wife looked at him at the Knicks game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was some shade right there, boy. His wife is fine, though.
Melo got that Allen Iverson.
Is fine. But no, I'm just saying, it's nothing worse than a fine woman looking at you like you suck. That's how she was looking. Like, oh,
you look like hot and steamy garbage right now.
That's the way she was looking at him. Like, that can't be good, man.
Yeah, nah. She was good and thinking about reuniting until she saw him again, and out there on the court, and she's like, It just reminded. She remembered everything that happened.
I'm going back to the set of power. Peace.
I'm called Tommy.
You're right though. The pieces are there. Billy's got to man up, show that he has a pair, and put the pieces where they need to be. Okay? And Russell's got to stop dribble, and shooting. Hey, man, there should be a rule. There should be at least one pass before Russell shoots.
Yeah.
He just dribble, and shoot. That's not running a play. And yeah, that may work sometimes, but what about the times when it doesn't work? Why do you do that when the game is critical? And that just angers me.
I think we could literally spread the floor well enough to where Paul George's offense can be more aggressive if he doesn't feel like he has an extra option to defer to. When Paul George feels like he has an extra option, he's the type of player that feels like he's got to defer to it, and he defers to Russ and Carmelo a little bit too much. So maybe if you switch up that lineup a little bit, he'll feel as though he can be more aggressive and play a bigger part in the offense. Jay's about to go to sleep.
You all right, Jay?
No, I'm listening to y'all.
I mean, you're not even in the middle of your screen,
Nah,
man. You're like on the side. Get in the middle of your screen, bro. This is
right
visual.
here, man. I'm right
No,
here.
you're not, man.
It's time. On that note, it's time for the final cut. J Rock,
Get in the
wake
middle
up.
of the screen, Jay. You so hard headed.
Man, chill out, man.
Thank you.
It just happened.
Happened, man. Shout out to
Jay
Ben Vereen.
Jay over there with the hoodie on, like a little beanie on, like Ben Vereen, about to exit on the show. Something
Did you
came
notice
up.
how he did it when his hand movements when he said it just happened? It just happened.
Kung Fu. Kung Fu abandonment.
Kung Fu abandonment. That's sad.
It is.
Go, Jay.
Nah, 2017 is coming to the end. It's the holiday season, and at this time we always reminisce over loved ones that we've lost. This past week, my cousin, she lost her husband and her son within a 5-day span. So, like we always say, always reach out to friends and family members who you haven't spoken to in a long time, because you never know. This might be the last time that you see them. This might be the last Christmas that you see them. Just hearing their voice may stop them from doing something that, they may try to harm themselves, or they may just be in need of just hearing your voice. Pick up the phone. Don't text message or send a Facebook message. Pick up the phone and so they can listen to you. Because, sometimes just hearing somebody's voice can make somebody's day. And like I always say, winners win, losers lose. They all find a way to do what they do. I'm your boy J-Rock, man. It's been real, 2017. We love you guys. I'm out.
As the year gets close to the end, man, we always try to take inventory of ourselves. Another place that I believe that we don't do that I think we should do is take inventory in our relationships. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I think we hold on to relationships that are like dead weight, simply because we've known people for such a long time. Okay? Be able to be brave enough to put people in your life where they're supposed to be. Okay? Be able to know that some relationships in your life, friendships, whatever, some of them are only good for a season, while others are for a lifetime. Know where to put people. Say, okay, these people belong in my inner circle, but this person belongs kind of on our outer reaches. Still, I know them. They're my associates, but maybe they don't belong in my inner circle. Whenever you're smart enough and brave enough to arrange your relationships where they need to be, that really keeps all the drama away. Know where to put people in your life. Not everybody belongs in your inner circle. Some folks need to be kind of on the outskirts, and you can say hi from a distance. That doesn't make you a mean person. That makes you a smart person. Understanding relationships, and in the years to come, as we approach this new year, do inventory on your relationships and where people belong. And with that, don't tell God about your big problems. Tell your problems you got a big God. And I'm out for 2017, baby. Raw dog all day, every day. Barbershop 918.
All right, so over the course of this year, we talked about our favorite things that happened this year. Two things stood out to me this year that weren't so happy, but I've grown from the experience. Within 1 week, really three things. I had 3 different death notifications I had to respond to. One was for a 17-year-old kid that it was odd because I sat there and I looked at a child whose life was gone, same age as my child. And the other one was one young man by the name of Joshua. And I can say his name because it made national headlines. And seeing that situation was one that definitely affected me in a heavy way. But then a few days later, I lost one of the people who lived under a bridge that I would frequently visit, and lost him at the hands of someone that I also would visit under a bridge. And when I think about these relationships that I had with those individual people, or the roles that I had to play, I just say I thank God that God put me in a position to be there to comfort individuals in those times, because those are devastating times. So my main point is to encourage you. You may not think that you're that one that can encourage someone. You may not think that you're the one that can help lift someone up. Sometimes it's not about knowing the right thing to say, because the situations that I just described to you, there wasn't a right word that I could say. Having to tell a mother her child is dead, there's no right way to say it. But being there and being willing to stand in the gap, that's what we need. We need more people who want to stand up and do those things. If you find yourself with the opportunity to be there for someone, to comfort someone in their time of need, do that. If you're a person who needs someone to comfort you and be there for you, please reach out. Even if it's a matter of calling, support groups or suicide hotlines, or just telling a family member you're feeling depressed or whatever it might be, reach out. Let this time of the year be about loving one another, not just about gifts. That's my final cut for the year, for the day. Love you guys for listening. I thank you for listening to the Barbershop 918. And make sure that you remember this one thing. Hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that. We love you guys for listening, and thank you for listening. You can catch us at
thebarbershop918.com. You can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, you can.
Buzzsprout. Just Google us, man. If you're looking for us, you're going to find us. We are the Barbershop 918, going strong for what, 2 or 3 years now? Is that where we at now?
Yeah.
2 years, baby. 2 years in the game, baby.
Yeah, so there's a reason why we still doing this, man. We doing this not because we getting paid to, but because of the love we have for sports, the love we have for our community, and the love we have for people that are listening to us now, watching us. We appreciate you guys, man. Y'all stay with us for 2018 as well, all right? All right.
We out.
We out.